everybody. Welcome to the session for Retail Cloud Scalability. I know people are still coming in, but I think we have enough good content that we can start and people can join in later. And the content will be available afterwards as well. By a show of hands, how many people attended the retail pre-day yesterday here? Okay, a few of you. A fair portion of this content was covered in the pre-day, but there is some interesting things which are still new. And for everybody else, we have a really packed agenda for this session, and we have some very cool demos I'm sure you'll all love to see. So with Retail Cloud Scalability, one of the things we're going to focus on in this session significantly is going to be on Retail Cloud Scale Unit. People here heard of Cloud Scale Unit before? Excellent. So it's new to everybody, so I'm going to really explain what Cloud Scale Unit is all about. Let's look at our system architecture first. This has been a canonical view of the system architecture we've talked about for a while. The details are not that important in this diagram. The high-level thing to look at here is on the right-hand side, we have in-store components, your typical point of sale, retail server, and your channel databases and peripheral devices and so forth. On the left-hand side, up and down, they're just replicas in primary and disaster recovery region of Microsoft Cloud supporting Dynamics 365 for retail application. You'll notice in this diagram, what I've tried to illustrate is that historically we have had the ability for environments for Dynamics 365 for retail to be deployed in any single data center region of the customer's choosing. In this example, I've shown an environment deployed in a data center in North America. What that means is all of the stores that have all of these retail components that connect to the cloud are served by infrastructure in this one data center. So this is before RCSU. What we realized with this infrastructure and with this architecture was that we had a number of specific goals we wanted to be able to meet with advancements and new investments in this infrastructure. So we identified these key 5 goals, mostly focused on scalability, but also to some extent focused on serviceability. So from scalability, we wanted to be able to provide low latency at point of sale. So no matter how much we improved the response time on the server, and no matter how much we improved the client-side code, there's still this network in the middle. And then the farther away the stores are from our data center, the slower the overall experience is going to be. So we wanted to be able to address that situation head on. The second thing we wanted to focus on was cloud scalability, meaning we had this infrastructure which we could kind of throw more metal at it and scale up. But the architectural constraints of that infrastructure sort of limited us from scaling significantly more than what we wanted to achieve. The third one we wanted to focus on was resource governance. The idea here being if you have cashiers in your point of sale and it's peak holiday season, at that point you want point of sale performance to not only be good, but you want it to be predictable and reliable. Imagine if at the same time you have some back office users who want to run extensive BI reporting, or you want to run some more extensive batch jobs that take a toll on the system. Guess what's going to happen? Your cashiers in the point of sale are going to experience much lower performance when they're scanning items. It's not really acceptable because these are independent workloads and they shouldn't be competing for the same resources. We need predictability and consistency of performance. Historically, in our architecture, we didn't really do a good job there, so we wanted to tackle that pretty well. Another 2 things you wanted to focus on from a serviceability standpoint, we won't go into too much of it here, but I do want to call it out, is the ability to have updates which take very little downtime or 0 downtime, and the ability to roll out updates in a fashion that is staged and staggered. So you can update a smaller set of stores first, and then roll out the updates more gradually to your entire topology. With that in mind, this is what a canonical view of this topology looked like. The orange circle in the middle would be representation of a single data center where all of this infrastructure is hosted, and you have stores in London and San Diego and Toronto and all over the world, all connecting to a single region. Even though we allowed customers to choose which region to deploy their infrastructure in, they still had the option only to deploy it in one region, not to be able to distribute it across multiple regions. I'm glad to announce, since many of you may not have heard of Cloud Scale Unit before, that the first iteration of this exercise has been successfully delivered. we announced in October of last year the first cloud scale unit support for Dynamics Cloud. So for any environment in Dynamics, you're able to support one scale unit where all of the traffic for all of your stores goes. So this helps us to get load isolation, and this helps us to get that consistency and predictability and performance, so that when you have heavy load on back office, it's not affecting your stores, and also vice versa. If there is a lot of throughput in your stores, your back office operation should continue to be consistent. Then we announced that we would retire and upgrade all the existing legacy infrastructure to this new cloud scale unit model. This thing's in progress, so all the customers that we've had in our pipeline, I'd especially say we've taken our top customers by throughput and volume and usage and complexity, and we've moved all of them to the new cloud scale unit infrastructure, and they're running well. Now we're looking at migrating everybody else onto this new infrastructure, but given how we've exercised and made sure the most complex customers are running well, I feel pretty confident of being able to smoothly transition the rest of the customers as well. So this thing is in progress, and we're targeting by fall timeframe to have most of our existing customers on the new cloud scale unit model. So it'll be pretty transparent migration, especially when you consider device activation state of point of sale terminals in your store. That's all going to be preserved. So for your stores and for your point of sale devices, this is going to be a fairly transparent exercise. In the back end, you just do this cutover switch, and things continue to function as normal. Second phase we had identified was the ability to go from one scale unit to supporting multiple scale unit. As of April of this year, we've also made this thing generally available. So we do now support the ability to deploy multiple cloud scale units. This was a journey multiple years in the making, and I'm glad to announce we finally landed on this capability. So with all of those goals that we'd identified, we feel we've reasonably achieved the key highlights that we had looked to achieve here. So now this is the same canonical view I'd kind of shown before. Details are not important, but you'll notice in addition to the North America data centers, you're now able to have these cloud scale units in multiple different geographies. In this example, I'm showing scale units in Australia and India. And just like with the topology we had before, scale units are also redundant and deployed in multiple data centers for disaster recovery and business continuity. So going back to what it looks like now, you have one central head office component deployed in any data center of your choosing, and then you get to deploy these edge nodes that can serve stores in corresponding locations. So your London store can connect to West Europe, whereas your San Diego and Houston stores can connect to West US. Yeah. And then when you add on the peripheral devices view, this is what it looks like. You have peripheral devices connecting to your point of sale devices just as they do today. You can continue to use standalone hardware station. You can continue to use hardware station in your point of sale. You can continue to use point of sale offline. One thing you'll notice here is retail store scale unit is not something that works with cloud scale unit. This is one of the questions I get fairly often. Can I use cloud scale unit and store scale unit together? You can use them in the same environment, but for a single store, you have to choose. Either use store scale unit or use cloud scale unit, not both. Yeah. And so imagine now we're going to look at a sample use case and then followed by a demo of a imaginary retail organization that is headquartered in Western Europe. They're a fashion apparel maker. And you've seen, or you see in this diagram, pink and red circles. The pink circle is the data center where they've chosen to have their headquarters data center for deployment of their primary application. And the red box is where they've deployed their first cloud scale unit. And as you may imagine, many customers that we see today are customers that start in one region and over time they expand to multiple other regions. In this case, the blue dots are representative of store locations that they have globally. And of course, you can imagine they're not just one store. There may be hundreds in each of these locations and thousands of stores globally available. Now, historically, what's happened is we've taken all the traffic from all the stores around the world, and routed them to a single scale unit over there in Europe. And you can imagine the over-the-network latency for stores in Sydney or Ventura or Bellevue all the way to Western Europe is going to be suboptimal, whereas stores in Western Europe locally, they're probably doing okay. But we wanted to be able to solve this over-the-network challenge for all of our retail organizations. And so in this example, we're going to be able to go from this kind of a topology to that kind of a topology, where you have stores, let's say in Australia, they're connecting to a local cloud scale unit. You have stores in India, they're connecting to a local cloud scale unit. Stores in West US versus East US, they're connecting to local cloud scale units. And then the purple dotted line shows you asynchronous data transfer in the cloud between cloud scale units to the head office. And there's another interesting factor to consider here. And that factor is even for calls which are real-time calls, which cannot be fully served locally by the cloud scale units. So some example would be you have a customer who wants to redeem a gift card. So those are calls, typically you want those to be based on real-time data, not a cache of the data in a cloud scale unit. In which case, the cloud scale units will make a direct in-proc call over to head office. But guess what happens in that situation? The pink line, that is going over the Azure backbone data center to data center. So that traffic is not competing with global internet traffic if you were directly calling the head office from your store computer. So even in the worst case, we're going to do much better than going over the public internet. So in this demo, we're going to look at two specific examples. In the first example, we're going to see a store which is based in Bellevue in the Puget Sound area. It's connected to a cloud scale unit over in Europe. And then we're going to take a look at another store, again in the Bellevue area, but that's now connected to cloud scale unit in the Puget Sound region. And then we're going to compare to see how much difference we're going to see in network latency between these two cases. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to switch over to my first demo. We'll give this a second. My computer went to sleep. Okay, here we go. So while this wakes back up, do people have any questions so far? In fact, let me ask the show of hands. How many people here, and I'll get to your question, how many people here have prior experience working with Dynamics 365 for retail for customer implementations? Most of you, all of you here. Glad to see that. How many people have worked with Dynamics for retail or for the retail industry solution for Dynamics for more than 3 years? Some of you, more than 2 years? More than 1 year? All of you. Great. Okay, good to hear that. Okay, so let's try one more time. Okay. So while we get help on the AV on this, I'm going to move on to the next topic, and the next topic is going to talk about scale and performance and what patterns we've observed in the number of implementations that we've seen come in, especially with regards to scale and performance configurations. And the first topic I'll touch on is going to be data configuration. Okay, we got something. That's okay. That's that one. Okay. So data configuration. One of the things we've noticed with data configuration is no matter how well the product is built from a code standpoint, no matter how well the performance is tweaked for extensions and customizations, one of the key things that often gets overlooked is how the customer data is modeled and how it's structured. The first example I'll talk about is going to be, let's say, your legal entities. One of the anti-patterns we've seen with some of our implementations is that the data is modeled in a way which the system isn't really designed to handle. So legal entities are typically meant to be, your legal entities. And some customers we've seen, what they do is they reuse the notion of legal entity so that every single store in their organization, they model it as a legal entity. Right? What ends up happening is instead of there being 5, 10, 20, 30, or 100 legal entities, now we have thousands of legal entities. And as a consequence, functionally it works, but there's significant perf overhead to every single store being a legal entity. Another anti-pattern we've seen is assortments. Again, the idea of an assortment is that's a definition of what products are assorted to which stores. You may have a few different assortments different times of year based on whatever sales you're going to have. Again, we've seen customers modeling different assortment for every single store. So now instead of there being a few assortments, now there are thousands of assortments. Again, system wasn't modeled to be able to account for, I'd almost call this abuse of these entities. And so as a consequence, functionally, when during your implementations, you're trying it out and say, okay, let me try a different assortment for a different store. When you're testing with 5 stores, 10 stores, things look great. And you're like, aha, I can make this work. But the minute you scale this out to your thousands of stores, hell breaks loose, right? And so that kind of is a segue to another point that I would really like to emphasize when you talk about scalability. So when you're dealing with customers who are sizable in nature, whether it's sizable in regards to the volume of master data they have, or sizable in regards to the number of transactions that they're getting. Okay, we see we've got a demo ready, but I'll kind of conclude my thought on this one, and then we'll get to the demo. One of the things that we would highly encourage you is do perf testing as part of your implementation. And not just do perf testing as the last thing you do before go live, but do perf testing very, very early on in the product cycle, front load perf testing. And the reason that I mentioned that is for every single customer that we see, the data composition that they're going to have is going to be quite unique, specific to their business needs, specific to their organization, specific to the subvertical they're operating in. And based on the unique data composition, the performance characteristics of the system are going to vary considerably. I'm sure we all understand how sophisticated and how, I would almost use the word complicated these things can get based on the different permutations and combinations of different data models we set up. And so truly the only reliable and predictable way to know what kind of performance your implementation is going to get is to do a perf test ahead of time. And so if you do it much later in the game and you discover issues in the core product and then you file a support request and then you say, you know what, we're trying this specific workload, we're seeing these performance bottlenecks, can you help us? Say, yes, of course we can help you. If there's a legitimate product issue, we'll get to it and we'll prioritize it right away. But if you tell us this thing like a week before you go live, it's impossible for us to investigate, identify the root cause, fix it, turn around, and give you the fix. And for you to be able to do regression testing on that and then go live, it's just not feasible. And so if you have a sizable implementation in progress and you're not front-loading your perf testing, you're putting your entire project at risk. I'm going to be very clear with that. And so the earlier you do a perf run, in fact, even the first perf run that you do doesn't have to be very sophisticated. Just do a basic perf run, even with demo data, to make sure there is no set of bottlenecks that are very evident. The other thing I'm going to talk about is going to be for your perf testing. Follow a few key guidelines. The first one, do it early. The second one, do it with real data. If your real data involves 40 million customer records and you're doing your perf testing with a demo data of 1,000 customer records, it's not the same thing. No matter how much throughput you put in, the volume of master data is critical. So do it with real customer data. Second, for your customizations and extensions, do a perf test without your extensions applied. Then do a perf test with your extensions applied, so that you're able to identify if the extensions that you've authored are causing any significant decline in your performance. This is an area that we've observed does become a source of perf bottlenecks, because oftentimes when you're planning and scheduling and estimating the amount of work it's going to take to be able to build a customization, you're just planning for the functionality to work. There's not always enough time schedule for you to invest in tweaking the performance and making sure it's optimal, and that it works not just on your dev box with a small amount of volume, but it works at scale. So make sure you're investing that time when you're estimating your customization work as well. And then I mentioned your data configuration. Make sure that the way you're modeling your data it's not enough just to be functionally valid. It needs to work at scale as well, the way you model your data. And then I have a few other topics. I'll kind of cover them afterwards, but let's jump to this demo first. So in this demo, what I wanted to show you is performance benefits of using Cloud Scale Unit, especially if it's geographically closer to you. So here I have just your regular point of sale, and I have some products on the screen, and I'm going to add some items to the cart. And when I add items to the cart, I pulled up the debugger view on this. So we're looking at the console. I'm going to see from the client side itself, over the wire, how long it's going to take to add an item to the cart. In this example, this point of sale instance is based in the Pacific Northwest. So I've remote desktop into there. And from the Pacific Northwest in Bellevue, this is connected to a Cloud Scale Unit in Western Europe. So it's going halfway around the world to add an item to a cart. You're probably already seeing the results here, but I'll do it again, and I'll do multiple runs to show you that this is actually real. This one is a little over 800 milliseconds to add an item to a cart. I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to make sure this is warmed up so it's not reestablishing the SSL connections and so forth. And then I'm going to turn on the recorder and do a few runs so you kind of get an idea. So this one, we got about 750 milliseconds. We're going to clear that, try again. You got about 700 or so, right? So that's the kind of performance you're getting when you're going half around the world, which is not too bad, when you consider all things considered. But if you are in key industries where performance is important, I guess that's every industry in retail, especially you look at your holiday season, your 24 or 48-hour period during that time is the most critical time that you have for the entire year. So in that time, if you can save the amount of waiting for your shoppers in line even by 20, 30, 40%, that can be remarkable, either positively or negatively if you don't do it. So this is what this is for. This is saving every last millisecond for you so that you can get the most throughput when you're adding item to cart. Now I'm going to switch to the other point of sale, which is also in Bellevue in the Pacific Northwest, and that is connecting to a local Cloud Scale Unit right there next to Seattle. In this one, you kind of see here already, we're seeing under 400 milliseconds. So about 40 to 50% shavings in the total time it takes you. And I'm going to also do this few more times just so you know this is real and I haven't faked it. And let's do it one more time. Okay. Again, right around the 400 millisecond mark. So from 800 milliseconds are down to 400 milliseconds, close to 50% saving here. So that's the power of Cloud Scale Unit deployed locally. I'm going to switch back to the deck, and then we'll continue on to the next topic. Now let's talk about how do you get cloud scale units, how do you manage them, and what things do you need to consider when you're configuring the cloud scale units. How many people here are familiar with the Lifecycle Services portal, the management portal? Most of you? Good to hear that. So in the Lifecycle Services portal, we've added a dedicated page for cloud scale units. And on the dedicated page, you're able to see multiple cloud scale units listed here on the left-hand menu. And then you see the details of each cloud scale unit on the right-hand menu. I've selected the West Europe cloud scale unit, but you can imagine in a single environment, you might have 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, even more cloud scale units as the need, depending on the customer need at that point. So for the actual menu on the details, I'll let you kind of take this in, look at all the details. You'll notice we have this status box on the top, this white background box, and that shows you the status of the last operation that you performed. Below that, we have metadata information. On the right-hand side, we have helpful links. And on the bottom right, you'll notice we have something called system health. For some of you who probably know the insides of our system well, we've had this capability to be able to do a very rudimentary health check on our retail server. The way we do it is we take the URL of our retail server, we append some health check parameters to it, and it gives us a very basic pulse of, is the service up? Is it able to connect to the channel database and real-time service? So that's been very popular, especially amongst our support engineers, amongst our developer team. And so we wanted to be able to bring the value of that health check front and center right to the cloud scale unit page. So we brought that capability right up here. So we added these icons to depict whether this is healthy or not, the checkboxes or exclamation points. And you can use this information if you ever notice that these are not healthy. You can use that as a starting point to engage with Microsoft support. But in 9 out of 10 cases, if you see an issue with these not being green, chances are an incident has already been filed automatically by our system for our engineers to look at, and we're already actively working on it. So this is just more of an informational piece for our IT pros to be aware of. This is the configuration as it looks like on the head office. On the head office, you may be familiar with an entity called the channel database. In our historical on-prem world in AX 2012, we had a similar entity called channel database. And in that, we expected customers to be able to manually configure this entity after they had already installed SQL Server, installed the database, gotten the connection string, you know the deal. In fact, I recall about 5 years ago, I did a similar talk on setup and deployment of retail infrastructure when we were on-prem. And I had to write a 100-page document on how to install Dynamics for Retail. It was very tedious. And we did this one workshop. It was like an 8-hour workshop from morning to evening, just to be able to install all the components and be able to ring up a sale, right? I don't know if any of you were here there. Okay, you weren't there. Glad to hear that. So at the end of that 8 or 10-hour workshop day, we had, out of, I guess, a couple of hundred people, 2 people were able to successfully complete that exercise. We really took that to heart. We felt we needed to do something dramatic to be able to improve that experience of setup and deployment. And now you probably know how it's like in the cloud, where you press a few buttons and then it's hands off. We do all the heavy lifting for you. So we wanted to preserve that usability element when setting up cloud scale units. And so what we did is, anytime you deploy a new cloud scale unit, in fact, let me go back here and tell you one more thing. So on the top left corner, you'll see a plus button. And the plus button is the option to deploy a new scale unit. And I'll also show you another demo on how to do that. But you hit the plus button, you select your region, scale unit gets deployed. There's nothing else to do. And the next piece of information that we need from you is, now that the scale unit has been deployed, what do you want to do with it? Obviously, you want some specific channels to be served by your scale unit. And that goes back to one of the key value propositions of scale unit I talked about earlier, which is load isolation and scalability. In that you're able to take specific number of your retail channels, and you're able to map them to specific scale units, and that's how you're able to scale out the load, and that's how you're able to distribute the load to these channels. That's the piece of metadata and information that we need from the IT admin or the implementation partner. So you come to this form on the Dynamics HQ, you select a system-generated record for a channel database. So when you deploy a new cloud scale unit, in the background, we do a programmatic call to generate a corresponding record for a channel database record in here. So you as an IT admin don't have to worry about these. These are system generated, not editable, they just appear here. And this gives you an indication of all the cloud scale units that are available for you to use. You select on one of these, and then you specify which channels do you want to be configured to be served by that scale unit. Yeah, so far so good. The one other piece of configuration that we require from you, and to be honest here, this is an artifact of the way we engineered the system, and we're looking to improve this experience. But for now, there's another piece of metadata we want you to configure, and that is channel profiles. These are also system generated, so you don't have to manage them yourself. The only thing we require you to do is when you go to retail channel page, we require you to configure and map your channel to a channel profile. And one big piece of recommendation here is that the channel profile that you map and the live channel database that you select in this form should be records that map to the same scale unit. So when you deploy a scale unit, it's going to create a channel profile for you, which is visible here. It's going to create a channel database ID for you. Your job is to map a desired channel to the same pair of channel profile and channel database. Yeah. Here is something called download sessions. Are people familiar with this view? Yeah, I see a lot of head nodding. Great. So one thing you also need to be aware of is after a cloud scale unit has been deployed, and after you've mapped which channels you want to be served by which cloud scale units, we still require you to run a CDX data sync so that we get data to that corresponding cloud scale unit. And I've done this numerous times where I deploy a cloud scale unit, I configure the channels, and I try to use the device, it doesn't work, and I'm like, why isn't it working? So this is why, and this is a common reason and a common step that people sometimes forget. So make sure you run the jobs and you see that the jobs have actually been applied and completed, and then you can try to activate a device with that corresponding scale unit. Let's get to some FAQs. Some of you who were at the talk yesterday, I'm looking at you. No spoilers. So I compiled a list of the most common questions that we get from customers, partners, ISVs, anybody who's using cloud scale units or is interested in using cloud scale units. And so I took the top 11 most commonly asked questions, and I got answers to them, and I'm listing them here. So we're going to make this a little bit interactive and see if people can guess the right answer, and then we'll get the right answer, right? When's it going to be available? Some of these questions I already answered today. Let's see if people are able to remember. Good answer. It's already available. Single RCSE was launched in October. Multi-RCSE is also available, launched in April. So both of these are available. I encourage you to consider cloud scale unit, especially the multi-cloud scale unit, because for the single cloud scale unit, there isn't as much to consider unless you're looking at a different topology. But if you're going with retail in the cloud for your store workloads, the existing topology that we've had is getting superseded by cloud scale unit. So this is the de facto standard now. But the consider part is the multi-cloud scale unit. So if you need multiple different cloud scale units in different regions, be sure to consider multi-geo support for that. How much is it going to cost? I get asked this all the time. Any guesses? That's one answer included. How many people think it's going to be a lot of money, or no money, or some amount of money? Okay, Okay. At this point, we have an introductory offer until the end of the year, where there is no additional charge for this. But later in the year, we're going to announce updates to our licensing model, where we'll discuss cloud scale unit pricing in more detail. Until then, we have a soft limit of 2 scale units that are going to be available for deployment. Additional scale units will require a support request, and just put in one sentence about why you need it, and we'll likely just approve it. We just want people to be reasonable with it. That's all. Where is it available? How many regions do you think it's available in? How many people think 0 to 10? 10 to 20? More than 20? Okay. Right now, we have this available in 19 regions, and we're continuing to roll this out more. Our goal is to be on par with the regional availability of FNO. And in cases where FNO is not available in that particular region, we'll continue to offer cloud scale unit as well. This one is pretty popular. Yes? No? Good. People are paying attention. Glad to hear that. Cannot do it for a specific store, but for the same environment, you can have some stores running on cloud scale unit, other stores running with store scale unit. So does it mean RCSU is a replacement for store scale unit? Good answer. So these are designed to serve different purposes. With that said, there have been specific use cases which have been quite suited to multi-geo support for cloud scale unit. But before cloud scale unit was available, some of our customers who were quite ambitious, they took store scale unit and deployed those in regional data centers, which involved a lot of management overhead for those customers because cloud scale unit was not available. We had a customer who was operating out of Australia who wanted to expand operations to Canada, North America. And before multi-cloud scale units were available, they manually deployed store scale units in North America. So that's one less use case where store scale unit is going to be needed today. But there's still legitimate cases where this is going to be useful, especially for situations where customers are operating with very poor internet connectivity, and they want to be able to perform operations such as suspend shift in one terminal, resume in another terminal, those kind of things. Can you access diagnostic logs for cloud scale unit? Yes, no? So kind of yes, it's in active development. I expect this will light up very, very shortly. I put in July 2019 to be conservative, but hopefully it will be available sooner than that. Can you RDP into it? Yes, no? Okay. Unfortunately, you can't. And the reason is we built this on very modern infrastructure, which is based on PaaS, so essentially web apps. So there isn't really an underlying virtual machine that anybody can access to. It is running just as a managed web service. And the advantage there being a lot of the underlying infrastructure management that is required is no longer required for the development team that's kind of operating this.
Have you gotten any pushback?
So far we haven't really gotten much pushback on it, but I'll tell you what the general sentiment has been from the customers who've been using this and from people who are evaluating this. The general sentiment has been people, especially who are using it, they love the idea of multi-cloud scale unit and scalability and so forth. But there is a need, and there's been asks for better tooling for diagnostics and troubleshooting. That's kind of been the general ask, and we're very aware of that ask, and we're focusing on investing in that area. Now, does it mean we'll get RDP? Maybe not literally RDP, but the general idea is better tooling. So we're hearing that loud and clear.
In that plan, will it include retail server logs you currently get off of RSQ? Or
Yes, yes. So the composition of the logs is going to be equivalent to what we get today.
obviously, when we do customizations, quite often we log to that
once this lights up, try it out. If you see issues, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll have my contact at the end of the deck. You'll have access to that. What topologies is going to be available? Okay, maybe I should have been more specific, and I'll just give you the answer here. Production and tier 2 sandbox topologies in the cloud is now going to be available in your developer topology. It's not going to be available on your build box. It's not going to be available in a demo topology or a trial environment or on the on-prem environment. Specifically limited to tier 2 sandbox and production. With that said, whether it's cloud scale unit or whether it is retail server running on a developer topology, or whether it's retail server running on a developer topology on a downloadable VHD, or retail server running within CRT on point of sale, or running in retail store scale unit, or any other combination thereof, the core runtime is functionally equivalent. So we're not really changing the core runtime. And when you're building an extension for CRT, it's going to be compatible across all of these hosting models. So we're still preserving that. So you can still build your extension and customization on a developer topology, and then build it and build the deployable package and apply it on an environment with cloud scale. It's functionally equivalent. There are a few caveats in that the load and performance and throughput you're going to see with cloud scale unit is obviously going to be considerably more than when you're doing it on a local box, which is why when you do your perf testing, do it on a tier 2 sandbox, and there are specific licensing models where we allow for a perf scale pre-production environment to be deployed. Make good use of that if you have significant load in your environment. Can you access SQL Server for RCSU? So unfortunately, you can't access it. But like I mentioned earlier, we're hearing feedback from the community that there is a need to be able to have better tooling for troubleshooting, especially for customizations. So we're closely focused on improving that. Today, some of you might know, when you want to update your production environment with a Microsoft update or with an extension update, you kind of have to submit that request, and it gets scheduled, and then it gets reviewed by our service engineering team, and then it gets deployed. With Cloud Scale Unit, do you also need to do that? Yes, no? Okay, I see them nodding of heads. The good news is Cloud Scale Unit is fully self-serviceable. So even in production, you can fully on-demand apply an update or on-demand update your extension without having to be blocked or bottlenecked by the Microsoft Service Engineering team reviewing it and applying it and so forth. So in my mind, this is a pretty big win, and it really allows for more agile rollouts and updates. And the last question, does RCSU need to be updated at the same time and together with HQ? Yes, no? Okay. So RCSU, just like with the underlying functionality in CRT, is backwards compatible, so that you can update your back office and keep your RCSU compatible or with the same version. And the advantage there is that if you have a critical hotfix that you need to uptake for back office and that requires some downtime, you can take that update without disrupting your store operations, which isn't really possible today. And vice versa, if you're updating your cloud scale unit, you can just update your cloud scale unit. So that really frees up the retailer from having to coordinate with their stores to schedule downtime as much as they have to do today. Here's another new topic I really want to talk about today, and this has to do with search scalability. So when we talk about cloud scalability, we in Microsoft have really honed in on making advancements in scalability to reach real internet scale instead of just being kind of smaller scale that we've previously been limited to because of on-prem infrastructure. And one of the first major advancements we're making when it comes to significant scale was obviously cloud scaling it. But the next iteration here is something we're looking at specifically for search. So as many of you know, search kind of involves a number of different scenarios for retail. Search is one, literally just doing keyword search and point of sale for products. Another aspect to search is just product lookup. If you're doing a barcode scan, it is in essence in the infrastructure doing a product search. If you're browsing for products, it's doing a product search. If you're adding item to cart, it's first looking for the product and then adding it to the cart. So most of the critical operations at point of sale involve search. And search has been an area for which we've historically leveraged SQL full text index. And that's kind of served us all right, but it hasn't really allowed us to get to internet scale. And so we've now invested in next generation cloud search and in this technology to allow us to scale significantly more than what we've been able to do with just SQL full text index in the database. And although it hasn't released yet, it's not available yet, but I will show you an early sneak peek view at what we've been able to achieve with regard to the throughput and performance we're seeing with this next generation of search. And what I'm going to show you here is a load test benchmark that's running in the cloud. I'm going to switch to my demo machine again. And we're going to measure how many search requests the system can handle. And when I mean the system, this is specific to one instance. In fact, this is specific to one RCSU. This is what you can get with one RCSU. This isn't the sum total of everything that Microsoft can support. This is for you for one RCSU. And we're going to measure this as requests per second. Now, requests per second isn't a metric that we're all calibrated to for search on a daily, ongoing basis. So I'm going to first provide some relevant examples to help us get calibrated on how much is a lot of number of requests per second. And so I'm going to switch, let me actually switch back to 5 first, and then we'll go to the demo. So I'm going to first switch to a kind of reference scale here. So what I did is I looked at public records of how many web searches are happening in the US on desktops. This is the numbers I got. It's fairly recent from January of 2019, so this isn't something from like 10 years ago. And we see the other search engines where you have, what was Yahoo and Oath now, about 800 per second if you can average it out. Bing is about 1400. Google is at about 3,800 searches per second. So that kind of gives you a ballpark of requests that are happening. So now I'm going to run a load test, and I'll show you what the results look like for retail. But before I do that, I want to get some, let's play a game. Let's see if people can guess what range we're going to come in for this load test. How many people think we're going to go between 0 to 500 requests a second for retail? And this is like for one scale unit. 0 to 500? Nobody. 500 to 1,000? Nobody. 1,000 to 1,500? 1,500 to 2,000? 2,000 to 3,000? More than 3,000? Okay. And if you haven't raised your mind, do make up a number in your mind, and then we'll see how close you got. Now I'm going to switch over to the real demo. We'll give it 1 second. seems we may have might have AV issues, but let me try and see if this helps. Okay. And we have about 6 minutes to go, and we'll kind of end with this demo. So if people have other questions, feel free to ask while we're getting the demo ready.
I got a couple questions.
Yes.
This is kind of a blanket question.
Yeah.
As this capability rolls out, with the customers to this, is there any capabilities that are going away that we should be aware of?
Yeah, so great question. As this thing rolls out, are there capabilities that are going away that people need to be aware of? The primary area of change has been the move to more managed infrastructure. So I kind of touched on this earlier, where in sandbox environment previously you've been able to RDP into the VM and get direct access to the underlying infrastructure. That's the key area where there is change, where the infrastructure is more managed and there is less access. SQL Server, you used to be able to log into SQL Server. That is no longer available. Diagnostic logs, at this point, not available, but we're working towards it. So those are the areas for troubleshooting and diagnostics that are different from how they were previously, and we are working to build better tooling so that the needs of the community are still met in that regard. So I guess I am here now. Can we get some help on the AV, please?
While we're waiting, maybe
Yes.
another question.
Yeah.
So I saw, I forget what the screen title was, but where you assign retail channels to individual cloud scale units.
Yes.
If you're moving to this and you say you have 40,000 plus retail locations, you'd have to do that one by one?
Yeah, excellent question. And I'll get to your answer in a second, but let's look at the results first. Here's the throughput, and here's a load run I started, I guess, 20, 30 minutes ago. We're seeing about 5,800 requests, in some cases higher. And if I do a summary, we're getting 5,000 RPS. And for context again, Google averaged about 3,800, and that is all of US, all web searches made by all humans in the US, right? If you add Google and Bing and others, this is kind of close to what we're achieving here for a single cloud scaling for a number of requests. And we had less than 10 errors when we were really stress testing the system. Kind of that goes to show the kind of investments we're making in scalability of search. So obviously, as this capability rolls out in the upcoming months, we'll talk a lot more about additional scalability details as well as the functionality of the solution. But that is kind of to give you a sneak peek. So with that, let's go back to the questions we had in the room. So the question was, when you have thousands of retail stores and you need to map these to cloud scale units, the manageability of that is going to be quite cumbersome. What kind of advice or thoughts do we have on that? The answer to that is we have a framework in place called there's DIXF is our bulk data management framework, and then we have a specific tool which allows data entities to be edited in bulk using Excel. Yeah, and that's true for all data management for all the entities in Dynamics. So just like with that, you can also use similar capability for mapping scale units to store. That's one kind of approach to addressing this. The other general thought we have with the multi-geo support for cloud scalability is we really focus on getting the most core viable capability of the solution available as soon as we can to be able to get early feedback from all of our customers. You'll also notice, as an example, when you go to the LCS portal and you see the list of scale units, we prioritized getting that functionality for situations where the number of scale units is maybe 5, 10, 20, 30, not for say hundreds of scale units. And we wanted to put this capability out there and then assess the feedback from the community to identify what areas need more manageability so that we can prioritize the investments in a fashion that are aligned with how the community perceives areas to be focused on, right? So there are lots and lots of things we could do, but we wanted to really hear from the community on which things you want to prioritize. And for that, we have the Ideas portal, where I encourage all of you to go if you haven't been there. And then post specific areas of improvement, not just for Cloud Scale Unit, but in general that you want investment in. In particular for Cloud Scale Unit investments, my email address is in this deck. It will be uploaded to the site for the event. Please send me feedback on areas that you feel we need to focus more on with regards to manageability and scalability or reliability or whichever areas are important. Please send me that so that we can use that data to make improvements to this. So this is just the first cut of cloud scalability. We're planning to invest more, but we want to hear what areas are important to you. Yeah, other questions? We're almost out of time.
You showed it on the slide, so for using MPOS offline,
Yeah.
where does the offline channel database get connected to that?
Oh, great question. So the first statement I'll make is pause with offline continues to be supported with Cloud Scale Unit, so it'll work just like it does today. In that we have something called a sync client on the point of sale, which synchronizes data between the offline database and head office. And the same that it works today with the co-hosted retail server model, it continues to operate in a similar fashion with Cloud Scale Unit. The only difference being the retail server and channel database are just hosted on dedicated infrastructure now as opposed to how they were before. So no change on how that operates. Any other questions? Yes.
Once you've moved all customers onto at least one
Yeah,
Cloud
yeah.
Scale Unit, will the default channel database then disappear?
Great question. Will the default channel database disappear when we moved all the customers to the new Cloud Scale Unit model? We're still working through the details on the precise naming convention that we want for these Cloud Scale Units to be. Right now, the first one is called default. The other ones, we have a numbered and naming sequence to these. So we're kind of fine-tuning that particular piece to be more friendly.
The first one will always be called default.
Yeah.
Are there any kind of general guidelines on how many you would need based across what areas?
Great question. I'm glad somebody asked. Good. Okay. So
Not known yet.
what is that?
I would assume it's not known yet.
On the contrary, it is known. So, well, yes and no. I got that feedback in yesterday's session as well, and we are going to publish the numbers officially on our doc site. But since you folks have actually attended here in person, so I can share with you our preliminary findings. Our preliminary findings are, and this is ballpark numbers. For each scale unit, we've seen between 50 and 75 cart lines per second. Yeah, and so you can kind of multiply by the expected throughput that you need, and that's the number of scale units that are going to be needed.
So you said 50 to 70 cart lines per second.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
How do you set up a location?
How do you set up where the Cloud Scale Unit gets deployed?
Yeah.
So when you go to LCS portal, and I talked about that plus button, you hit plus, that's where you're asked to specify a region. Yeah.
That's by time zone like something, or is that continent, country?
So each of those locations maps to an Azure data center. So
out of 19.
yes. Yeah. And we're going to continue to expand that. Any other questions before we wrap up? If not, I'll be outside and I can take questions and talk to people individually. Thanks so much for attending. I hope this was useful for all of you. Have a good rest of the conference here.